Hey, what's up, everybody? This is X Toll. Some of you might know me from my other channel. This is going to be a new show we're starting up. It's going to be called Vita Weekly, and it's going to be a weekly show. We're going to be bringing you reviews about different type of games, apps, what we're liking about the PS Vita, and the hardware, accessories, anything we can get our hands on. We're going to bring it to you. And like I said, some of y'all might know me as X Toll. I do have a co-host on the show. His name is Steve-O. And Steve, why don't you just go ahead and talk a little bit about your gaming experience and where you come from?
All right. I'm Steve-O. Uh, been a gamer for a long time. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always been attracted to video games. I don't know like what it is about it, but it's kind of my outlet. But I was approached by Adam to maybe start up doing a YouTube show about the Vita, since we were both kind of digging on the Vita. We knew we were probably going to get one, so we figured, why not get a couple of guys together and do a show? Just a couple of normal dudes that aren't getting paid off by the big corporations, or their opinions aren't being bought. So we went out last night, camped at our local store till midnight, got our Vitas, and here we are gonna give honest opinions about you know just because we're doing a show doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to say that this Vita is awesome. Uh, it could be the greatest thing, it could be the worst thing, but that remains to be seen. You guys have to watch the shows and see what we think about everything.
Yeah, most definitely. One thing I've noticed is as I've started doing more and more work in my life, my gaming experience has changed. I used to be a pretty hardcore gamer. Now I'm more of a mobile, casual gamer. I do play Warcraft still a little bit here and there. I am playing the new Star Wars, and most of my gaming experience is mobile these days. iPhone, I absolutely love it to death, and I do love a lot of the games on it. And this is kind of why I'm hoping the Vita will bring to me is this mobile experience with good controls, a good touchscreen, a good screen, all these just bundled up in one package where I can actually sit down and enjoy it. And that's kind of what I want to get out of it because I am more of a casual gamer these days. Steve, where would you say that you fall on the gaming scale here?
Uh, I would definitely say I'm exactly the opposite. I am not a fan of touchscreen games whatsoever. I do have an iPhone. I've had all the nice touchscreen devices. There's been a few games here and there. Of course, everybody likes Angry Birds because it's simple to play. Jetpack Joyride. All those games are really good because the controls are easy. But you've got these other games that are almost like the developers tried to make like a hardcore like first person shooter and put it on the iPad or the iPhone, and I just can't get into those. I don't like virtual joysticks. It's just something that I passed on. I'm a console gamer. I always have been. I have, my favorite console is Xbox 360. I play every game that comes out on Xbox 360. I'm a big first person shooter fan, but I am not a Call of Duty fan, just to get that out there. I do like first person shooters. I started with Call of Duty, I'm not going to lie. The first game I ever bought for Xbox 360, the night it came out, was Call of Duty 2. And I loved it. It was great, but as most of you probably will agree, that Call of Duty has taken a turn for the worse and has gotten worse pretty much every year. But anyway, that's beside the point. I got the Vita because of it's a mobile gaming device that has buttons. It's the first mobile gaming device that has two joysticks, and that's important to me, obviously, because I like first-person shooters. First thing when PlayStation did their little press conference like 2 years ago at E3 and said, "Here's the PSP2" or whatever they called it before they called it the Vita, I was like, "Please have two joysticks. Just that's all I want. Just two joysticks," and it did. And here we are. I spent my money. I got one, and they don't have any first-person shooter games for it right now, but they're coming. So,
Yep. Now, when you first opened up the box, what did you think about this piece of hardware you just paid $250 for?
well, first thing, I mean, me and you both said it when we saw it, was that is a small box. Uh,
Yeah,
I
it
really
was.
thought that the presentation would be there'd be a little more to the presentation of it. This is a big deal. I mean, they don't launch new consoles or gaming systems very often, so I was like, all right. they bring out this little tiny skinny box, and I was like, well, that's not what I expected, but it doesn't matter. Okay, as long as the device itself is cool. We opened our boxes, and uh, it's got like four things in it. You know, it's got the little charging cable, the charging block, the Vita, and a couple of pieces of paper, and that was it. I mean, it was pretty simple. I was impressed with the console itself. It was a little bigger than I thought it would be, and it's a little lighter than I thought it would be. But it doesn't feel cheap. But it wasn't what I had in my mind. I was thinking more along the lines of the size of a PSP and maybe the weight of a PSP. But it's bigger and lighter than a PSP, I think.
Yeah, actually, I do think it's a little bit lighter than the PSP from what I remember. It's been almost a year since I picked up a PSP.
Mm.
That's one thing I noticed too was this box was just so small. I was like, that can't be it, and it was. But
I got it right here. You can kind of see
yeah,
how it's. Oh, there you go. That's still upside down. I can't tell. There it
yeah,
is. Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
just you look at the profile of it, and it's way thinner than you thought it would be. And this is what they brought out, and they're like, "Oh, here you go." And I'm like, "Really? This
Yeah,
is?"
most definitely. It was way smaller than I thought it was going to be, and when I first held it in my hands, it was actually comfortable. One problem I do have with like the 3DS is once I start to play it for more than like 15, 20 minutes, my hands start to cramp up real bad.
Yeah.
And it's just the locations of the buttons and just the way that it feels in my hand. And that's the main reason why I haven't played as much as I would like to play it. But the screen is beautiful. The touch interface works great so far. I have not found any type of problems with that. Uh, the buttons are a little bit smaller than I was expecting, but they're very. I can still use them very easily. Like I've been playing Wipeout most of the day today, when I had a chance to play it, and that joystick it moves so easily. It takes a little bit used to get. It takes some time to get used to it, and that's one thing I did found was once I started to play a little bit more, the better I got with the game, and I just can't wait to see some of the stuff they're going to start using with the back touch sensor, which I I don't know what they're going to do. I know like Little Deviants and a couple other games out there are doing some little cool things with it. I can't wait to see in a year or two what developers come up with. And Steve, that's one thing I want to ask you real fast. I know you're a big first-person shooter. Besides, like, what aspects do you want to see using these two touch interfaces and that type of stuff, or the six axes on it, brought into like the first-person shooter aspect?
Uh, well, I mean, FIFA. I'm not a big soccer fan, but I know the FIFA game for Vita has one of the best uses for the the back touch panel. Like so far, they use it for like a goalie system when you're playing goal. I haven't played it. I saw a short video from one of the gaming blogs about it, and I thought it's pretty creative. As far as shooters go, I like how Uncharted, uh, when you zoom in to aim in Uncharted, you can kind of use the six axis to
Yeah.
kind of do a slight adjustment to your aim, which, as sensitive as the joysticks are on this thing, it kind of helps with that, being able to kind of bring down your aiming, uh, make it more precise, I guess. They work good together. I like the joysticks. There's two gripes I have about it. They're not big deals, not deal breakers, but one, they're a little short. I wish they were a tad bit higher, and also I wish that not only were they taller but higher up on the console itself. Like here's my Vita here. I wish they were a little higher because I feel like when I hold it, I kind of have to bring my thumbs down further than where they naturally feel like they should go. Not quite as bad as the 3DS. The 3DS is terrible for that. But I've been playing Mod Nation Racers all day, and it relies highly on both joysticks. And it didn't get to the point where my hands hurt like it does sometimes when I play 3DS, but it would be a lot more comfortable if they were just a tad bit higher. But I mean, with anything, they had to cram a lot of buttons on here, and then with anything, you're going to have a few gripes about some of the placements of stuff. But I mean, other than that, everything works really great. The button layouts are great. The shoulder buttons have nice tactile feel to them. They click in and out really good. The D-pad works well. I'm still figuring out a lot of stuff. There's little shortcuts in some of the games I've been playing that I didn't even know were there, where you can avoid using the touchscreen, which I try to do at all costs. I don't like using the touchscreen. You were talking about how pretty it was earlier. I think it's beautiful. The screen looks great. Uh, One of the things that I told you earlier I had an issue with, and maybe it's just because I have oily skin, but it does that rainbow effect type thing where if you touch it, you get kind of
Yeah.
a gloss on the screen from the oil from your fingers, and I'm constantly having to wipe the screen. I may go out and try to get a screen protector or something that can help with that. I don't know. I'm usually not a fan of screen protectors, but it's not a big deal. But I'm always wiping the screen because I hate that little rainbow effect that you get. But the screen looks great. It's. I mean, I've never seen an OLED screen before in person. This is the first time I've seen one, and I'm really impressed with it.
Yeah, I'm definitely impressed with that screen too. And that was one of my big concerns was how good was the screen going to look. This is something I'm planning on owning for the next, 3 to 5 years until the next big thing comes out, or maybe even longer. And so far, I can't. The pencil density seems real high too. I can't even really see the pixels at all. So I'm very happy about that, and the resolution's just great on it, and the colors really do seem pretty vibrant, and they pop out at you. So I'm definitely enjoying the screen, and I kind of feel the same way with the joysticks as you do. And my dog's gonna be walking in here, so sorry guys if you hear some noise. My dog likes to walk around the kitchen. So anyway, this is going to be our first episode, guys. Sorry for any technical difficulties. I can't even talk sometimes that we might have here. We are still working on our setups here. I know I'm going to be buying a new mic, and I think Steve-O is going to be doing some work on his setup too. But any feedback you want to give us, just go ahead and give it to us. We will be trying to do this once a week. We're probably going to be uploading probably on a Sunday or Monday. We got to actually sit down and finalize our schedules and when we're going to be able to record. And we're going to try to keep the shows for right now around 15 minutes. So it's going to probably be kind of shorter reviews, but it's going to just get down to the nitty gritty of the games and that type of stuff, and the updates and so on and so on. We're going to tell you exactly what you need to know as fast as we can, and that's going to be one thing I know I'm going to try to do is go through all these apps and say, man, you need to download this app here, because I'll probably be downloading a ton of apps, and that's just a habit of my iPhone. But anyway, guys, Steve, anything you want to say before we jet out of here?
No. Like you said, we're going to be starting off 15 minutes. If you guys want to see more, you're going to have to like, favorite, subscribe, all that stuff, so that YouTube says, "Hey, these guys got something going, and they'll allow us to make longer videos." So that's all up to
Yeah.
you guys. But we'll do the best we can with the time that they give us. If there's anything in particular that you have questions about or you'd like to see, let us know. We're here for you guys. We'll do. If there's a particular game that maybe you're on the fence about, let us know. Maybe we already have it. We bought quite a few games. Any questions about the hardware, just let us know. Put it in the comments. Let us know what you want to see. You know, so that's pretty much it.
Yep, and I think that's going to be a show, guys. Thank you for turning into the first week of this. And like I said, this is just more of just getting to know us a little bit and what we're thinking so far about the system. Next week, we plan on doing a review of a game. And I think I'm going to try to get through Uncharted. And if I can get through it fast enough, I'm going to loan it to Steve-O and let him go through it. So we might have a two different perspective review of Uncharted coming up next week. But anyway, guys, this is X Toll. And that's Steve-O, and this is going to be our first show. Peace, everybody.